Hello everyone, Luke Taylor here for a fun video today. I was watching the Euro and it was Italy versus Spain, and I thought to myself, if it's based on food, I think Italy should win. I prefer their food. And then it made me think, what if we did a Euro for metal? Yeah, metal! So that is an interesting question, and yeah, let's just do that. Let's just do it off the cuff right now. The criteria for this competition are that I have to own the CDs. I'm a big fan of these bands, and obviously where they're from is very important. So I think this is interesting just to kind of line up what kind of metal I like and what my favorite is. I do believe, pound for pound, if I did have to choose, USA would win, but USA is not in Europe. So it's all European bands, and this is going to be very interesting. So I just looked at the countries that are in the Euro 2020 tournament this year, and we have England, we have France, we have Finland, Sweden, the Netherlands, Germany, Switzerland, Wales, Italy, Ukraine, Belgium, Russia, Poland, Spain, Turkey, Czech Republic, Croatia, Austria, Portugal, Denmark, North Macedonia, Hungary, Slovakia, and my ancestral home of Scotland. Now, some of these countries are going to be immediately disqualified because I do not own any metal from these countries. So, sadly, all the countries that I just listed, starting with Belgium, Russia, Poland, Spain, Turkey, Czech Republic, Croatia, Austria, Portugal, Denmark, North Macedonia, Hungary, Slovakia, and Scotland. I don't own any metal from them, and I would be in a real pickle if I tried to name metal bands from some of those countries. So that said, we're only going to do 10 countries. And the 10 countries of the metal bands that I have are the following: Italy, Ukraine, France, England, Finland, Sweden, the Netherlands, Germany, Switzerland, and Wales. Now, I already know there's some real powerhouses here, and this is going to be a very tough challenge. So if you're playing at home, of those countries I just listed, what do you think is going to be my favorite? Okay, we're going to do head-to-head matchup. There's only 10 countries, so that's 5 head-to-head matchups, then they'll progress. I'm going to make a little note here on my computer of who's going to move on. So our first matchup is going to be Wales versus Italy. Now, I have one band from each country. For Italy, we have Lacuna Coil, and for Wales, we have Bullet for My Valentine. I have to say I'm going to go with Lacuna Coil on this one. This is going to win for Italy. So, next we have Ukraine versus Switzerland. This is a really tough matchup. Ukraine, we have Ginger, and one of my favorite bands, Motanka. Excellent band. And for Switzerland, we have Elevati. And Elevati, I think, had the best album of, was it 2019? For Ategnados. Awesome album. Great band. The thing is, because Motanka does have a lot of really amazing folk elements, and obviously, Elevati is one of the best folk metal bands around, I'm going to give the edge to Ukraine because they have the mighty Ginger. So Ukraine wins in the battle. Okay, next we have France versus Germany. Now, France has one of the most popular metal bands right now in Gojira. I do not have any Gojira albums. There's only one French album that I have. It's Has Peak, and they are an underground band that I kind of became friends with through Twitter. So that's my only offering for France, and they're going against the mighty Germany, which has, come on, Halloween, Blind Guardian. We even have like modern bands like Lord of the Lost and Lacrimus Profunda, Orden Ogan, and I'm missing another one. The Unity, that's who I was thinking of, that's right. So anyway, Germany is one of the powerhouses, one of the sure favorites to win for sure. I think Germany crushes France very easily in this battle. Okay, next up we have England versus the Netherlands. And this is an interesting matchup because for England, you would think England has some of the most famous musicians on the planet. But for metal, they definitely have some of the most famous metal bands. And there are the older bands. We have Judas Priest, we have Iron Maiden, and of course Black Sabbath. I don't own any like really modern English bands. I know that obviously like Judas Priest is still releasing new music, but I don't have any newer bands that I have their albums of. And for the Netherlands, we have Within Temptation, awesome band. They do what they do so well, and I think they have some of the best symphonic metal around. So this is really challenging, but just because of the heavyweights and the favorites, I'm going to go with England on this one. And now for truly the hardest matchup in this preliminary phase, Sweden versus Finland. Now, I did a stat one time on how many metal bands Finland has and how they love metal so much. And when you think about Sweden being the birthplace of melodic death metal, when you have Gothenburg and you have Stockholm, you have In Flames and you have Dark Tranquillity and you have bands like At the Gates, and we even have stuff like Arch Enemy, oh my gosh, Sabaton. There's so many amazing Swedish bands, even Amaranthi for more modern pop flavored stuff. It's really difficult, but Finland to me has some of the best metal I've ever heard in my life. We're talking about Nightwish, we're talking about Sonata Arctica, and we're talking about Wolfheart, and even Trees of Eternity, because the band is Finnish and the singer is from South Africa. But I just have to say this is a very tough decision. We can even include Tarja's solo records. I just think that because they're such an incredible powerhouse of metal, I have to go with Finland in this really close battle. Okay, so now in the next round we have Italy, Ukraine, Germany, England, Finland, and that's obviously an odd grouping. So I'm just going to isolate one of them randomly. I'm going to pick one of them randomly that gets a free pass into the next round, which is going to have some hard matchups for the other ones. So random. Okay, we're going to land on England. England gets a pass. That makes sense because we have kind of the godfather, Sabbath, who kind of, invented heavy metal. So that's good. Okay, England gets a pass. Okay, in the battle of Italy versus Germany, sorry guys, Italy doesn't stand a chance to Germany. I even forgot to add like Axel Rudi Pell. And even if you look at how many albums that guy has, just the sheer amount of material that the Germans put out, it's awesome. They have such a prolific mentality when it comes to their music and especially their metal. And so many of these bands that I listed, they have a ton of records. They have a huge discography to go enjoy. So Germany wins that and they advance. Yay! Okay, so our next battle is Ukraine versus Finland, and that is a tough call, but Finland wins that as well. They have so many amazing bands, and yeah, I probably have listened. This is a good final. I'll just say that. It's a three-way final. I have listened to Germany, England, and Finland definitely the most, other than the U.S. I've listened to music from these countries. Oh, so I have to decide a winner. Do I have to? Yes, I have to make a tough decision. Okay, so England, Germany, Finland. Let's think about this. I have to say, just pure nostalgia, England wins. I want to say, this is hard, but I want to say that Germany beats Finland. Oh, so we're looking at England, Germany. That's my heritage, guys. Well, it's really Scotland, but it's the UK. Oh gosh. Okay, shut the computer. Shut the computer. This is going to be a tough decision. I might look back on this and go, nah, some days, nah. But if I was going to take a drive, what record am I putting in? If I'm going to go clean my room, what record am I putting in? If I'm going to work out, what record? Just think about that. If I'm going to write, if I'm going to, go browse eBay and look at guitar pedals, amps, what am I going to do? It's probably going to be Germany. I think the thing about the stuff from the UK or from England especially, we're thinking Judas Priest, Sabbath, Maiden, that stuff's so classic and it's really inspired so many bands. But to me, it's inspired the American stuff more than inspired the German stuff. If I look at the German stuff has been inspired by itself. And they have such a rich heritage that they've created on their own. If you look at like Scorpions and Michael Schenker and some of this older stuff that they've been, even Halloween is a really old band. And they're still kicking butt. And they have such loyal, amazing fans. Not to say that the UK doesn't and England doesn't. But I'm just saying that this stuff is so classic, it's almost like rock. So it's very hard when you compare it with something like power metal or folk metal or some of the really heavy stuff, or even like Lacrimus Profunder and Lord of the Lost, where we're going into a more goth direction. I feel that there's more of a parallel in both of these two music here in America, which is actually very interesting because I'm looking at this as an American who grew up in America. I'm looking at the basically what I've been inspired by in both countries, in both subgenres of all the stuff that they've done. And yeah, and bands that I've loved have been inspired by both German and English bands. So it's only fitting that that's the final for me. That's my heritage in many ways. And yeah, I have to go with Germany at this time. They win. And yeah, that's right. Deutschland über alles as far as the metal goes today. And I hope you really enjoyed this. Please tell me your favorite bands from your favorite countries. There's countries that I don't know any bands from. If you know a band from that country, a metal band, please let me know. And yeah, maybe we'll do something fun for the Olympics too. We'll see. Hope you really enjoyed this. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. Please check out my other videos. I got some cool playing videos, some cool guitar videos coming up this week dealing with the X-Men. So that should be interesting. See you then.